Throughout centuries, humans have been fascinated by the mysteries surrounding paranormal activities. So, here are 12 bizarre footages that no human being is supposed to see. Starting with a reported ghost that was recorded on Ring camera footage, and the location is believed to be rather eerie. Take a look at this incredible sight. A ghost that seems to be hovering in front of a house in Bellflower, California, where it is said that a lady passed away from cancer. Those who are not acquainted with the region should know that Bellflower is located only a short distance away from Long Beach, which is the location where the infamously haunted Queen Mary cruise liner is parked. Next up, a widow is certain that the terrifying video from her security camera may reveal the spirit of her husband making an appearance at her home. A ghost group on Facebook was just updated with 2 pieces of footage by Emily Snyder, who is from Anson, Texas. She revealed that her spouse, Jeremy, had passed away on August 18, 2021, in the post that she submitted. Emily said that she had gotten a motion alert from the front porch cameras at the family home on August 17, 2022. The video shows a blurry humanoid that seems to materialize out of thin air before looking down at something that is located at the bottom of the frame. After that, the figure disappears. Emily continued by saying, "Knowing what Jeremy looks like, we were struck by the similarities. Is it just grief-fueled perception? I'm torn between wanting so desperately to believe that he still exists somewhere, somehow, but also trying to explain this rationally." In addition, she shared an image of her husband, which revealed that he was bald on the top of his head and had a horseshoe-shaped hairline on the back and sides of his head. His ears were fairly prominent, and he had a beard that was pretty long. Her post has received more than 100 likes, and many who are interested in the paranormal seem to be persuaded that the video reveals Jeremy's spirit. One person responded to the post by saying, "Looks like him to me. Same ears, same hairline." A second person said, "OMG, that's a man, he does look like your husband. I would say it could be. Who knows? I've had weird things happen to me when a death happened in my family." Coming up next, is it possible that Queen Elizabeth is still a ghost at Windsor Castle, over 2 years after she passed away at the age of 96? It has been reported by a fan of the royal family, who was there at the location where the building is available to the public, that the late monarch was apparently captured in some snapshots they had taken. While snapping the image inside the castle, the visitor reportedly saw a white flash in their lens. In their statement to the news organization, the person said, "I'm not a believer in anything beyond the grave, but I don't think there's any arguing with these images." Also, the person said that he was fully aware that people would say this could be a trick of the lens or a light flash or whatever, but it's obvious that he's looked into it, and it's highly unlikely the form in the image is any of that. He added, "It's clearly the Queen's spirit, and she looks so unsettled. You can tell by the expression on her face. She looks like she's in limbo and lost." He continued by saying, "I'm a royalist, and it was sad for me to think she is wandering around forever dressed in one of the outfits she used to wear on state visits. You can see she's got the old handbag, coat, and hat. I'm stunned I captured this." The person believes that the situation her royal family is in makes sense, which explains why the Queen is upset. Thus, he believes that she was once the institution's glue, and now that it is failing, she seems to be tormented. Next up, the Hernando Siles Stadium in La Paz, Bolivia, was the location where the footage that sent chills down people's spines was taken. For the top-flight match, the strongest prevailed over their opponents, San Antonio Bulo Bulo, by a score of 2-0. In spite of this, The most eye-catching event took place in the stands during the 70th minute of the game. What seems to be a shadowy person can be seen in the footage racing around the curve of the ground. Also, there was no response from the crowd as the figure passed by, despite the fact that they were in close proximity to it. Furthermore, fans uploaded their responses on social media as the footage of the incident was being circulated online. One individual wrote, "I think this is the best evidence of a ghost caught on camera to date." Coming up next, the majority of reasonable people do not go out into the world with the expectation of discovering proof of ghosts. Nevertheless, every once in a while, footage will appear that will cause even the most skeptical to take a minute to stop and think. So, the Ring security camera was installed in their garage, and the footage seems to show a white vapor or mist passing from one side of the room to the other. One user on Reddit stated that they were a bit uneasy about the situation when they were informed by their Ring security camera that there was movement. "I'm home alone, and my garage cam alerted me to this. I'm both confused and creeped out," the original poster IOBZE commented on Reddit. A few people on social media have stated that the video gave them a feeling that was more than a little unsettling. Well, that's definitely creepy. Are you the first to live in this home? Do you know anything of its history? One user wrote. Also, another user added, "Your garage is a portal, just a ghost passing through." Next up, the experience of driving down an empty road at night may be unsettling enough on its own. The last thing you need is to add a supernatural component to the situation. So, one lady from Fresno was forced to deal with it when she seemed to have a paranormal sighting. At least the lady was able to capture video of the event, which made it possible for other people to experience what she did. The automobile was making its way around a lengthy curve when, all of a sudden, what seemed to be a person made of translucent material materialized in the center of the road and proceeded to take a few steps in the direction of the opposite lane. The phantom apparition vanished into the darkness once again as the automobile proceeded to get closer. On the video, there is a caption that says, "Y'all see that? Friant Road," which has been the location of a number of deadly incidents throughout the course of its history, was the location where the sighting took place at roughly 8:50 p.m. Additionally, in the same year, a doctor who was 50 years old and his wife both passed away on the road after colliding with a tree. Experts assert that there is a mythology associated with Friant Road that indicates the ghost of a former police officer who patrols the road and pulls over vehicles to warn drivers of the possibility of accidents. Following the viewing of the video of the most recent ghostly encounter that was uploaded on the internet, users flocked to the comments section to give their ideas. One user remarked, "Yes, I have seen and heard many ghosts on roads." Coming up next, a company in Putnam County has said that they have captured evidence of paranormal activity on their surveillance camera. With no one around at 1:19 a.m. on September 25th, the doors of one of their transport vans slowly open, revealing an empty interior. Assuming that the doors had been broken into, Executive Director Jenny Sutherland said that they discovered the doors open the next morning and proceeded to inspect the cameras that were monitoring the rest of the site. "None of our security cameras picked up any trespassers or anybody on our property, so it seemed a little paranormal," Sutherland said. "I just kept thinking, I need a logical explanation. The van doors do push open easily, but only when the latch above them isn't flipped. They said you can see the door shutter as the latch comes undone from the inside." Sutherland stated, "The doors were closed and locked when we left Monday." Furthermore, this was not the first time that hauntings had been said to have occurred at this location. During his shift at the hospital, registered nurse Danny George reported seeing a full-blown ghost in the main foyer. He described the apparition as a lady clothed in a gown from the 1800s. According to George, I turned the lights on. The lights out there were off, and when I came back it was gone. On the other hand, this location has a history of violent incidents. In 1861, it was the location of the Battle of Scary, which was one of the earliest battles that took place during the American Civil War, meaning 19 troops lost their lives. George said, being a registered nurse, we're trained to deal in facts. George continued, the one thing that I can guarantee is we don't know everything about the human body, and it's the same thing with the supernatural. Also, Sutherland said that they have been contacted by ghost hunters, and they have informed them that they have agreed to allow them to spend the night and conduct testing on the site. Next up, a new footage is being hailed as one of the most impressive captures of a ghost ever made. The terrifying clip was taken from the series Ghosts of Morgan City, which airs on the Travel Channel. The squad of paranormal investigators on the program is now doing an investigation at a plantation in Los Angeles that is said to be haunted by a nurse. The situation at the property has deteriorated to the point that the owner has summoned the authorities on many occasions to claim that there is an intruder within the house. However, no one has ever been located. In order to determine whether or not they may have picked up on anything supernatural, the stars of the program put up cameras all throughout the home. Not only did they manage to capture anything, but the content of what they captured stunned the group of experienced ghost hunters. An image of a white person going through the shadows and passing through a doorway was taken by a camera in the peaceful living room. One individual even makes the observation that it is possible to look past the ghost and into the opposite side of the room. During the course of the night, the detectives make it a point to observe that there was not a single person present in the home or who entered it. Among the comments that have been made on the terrifying video is the phrase, "the best capture of a full-bodied apparition ever." Others, on the other hand, are suspicious, with one individual noting, "I really want to believe this, but it just looks like a real woman walking by the doorway." Coming up next, the ghost of a family member is attempting to walk their dog from beyond the grave, according to a couple who feel that their CCTV may have filmed the experience. Lauren Kane and her husband, Matthew Kane, were browsing through footage of their weekend, captured by their motion sensor camera, when she saw the enigmatic person. Thus, the frightening video shows a pale person emerging from their ancient antiques cabinet beside their Australian Shepherd dog. The figure then seems to vanish without a trace. Matthew said, "The look of terror that came over my face when she showed me what was going on in the room next to us. It just looked like a tall person walking our dog." Then Matthew provided an explanation of their antique cabinet and the items that are contained inside it. The cabinet's full of antiques from all over the world and passed away relatives or dead pets, all their ashes and urns. It looks like it comes from there. When asked by the cops to describe the supposed figure, Matthew continued by saying, "It has a perfectly round head and leaves a trail of light behind it. It walks like it's on a mission, like it wants to get somewhere. You can almost see the arms swinging." Having explained that their dog remained obedient throughout the whole ordeal, Mac came to the conclusion that the ghost was a relative or family member. However, when Matthew was seeking a logical explanation, such as a play on light, he discovered that he was unable to locate one. "Usually I'm skeptical, but I feel differently about this because I just can't explain it. It's there to see." Matthew said that after becoming aware of the footage and releasing it on the internet, people were going wild for it. In the hundreds of comments that were left on the video of the purported ghost sighting, many people expressed their belief that the eerie video was evidence of the existence of a genuine ghost. As stated by one individual, 99% of what gets posted here is pareidolia, seeing an image in a random pattern, or wishful thinking. This is the 1% that gave me legit goosebumps. Holy cow, that is some catch. Another added, that is most definitely a spirit. You can see the head, the shoulders, the body, and the way it's walking like a human, no doubt about it. Next up, the video, which was shot near Mentor, Ohio, seems to show what appears to be the specter of a little girl. Due to the fact that the authorities received a complaint on the sighting, the news also used the opportunity to discuss the footage with the Mentor Police Department. In the report, the officers who responded to the complaint regarding a child who was 7 years old and roaming about the neighborhood state that they arrived at the location at 10:40 p.m. I was surprised by what I saw. The person appeared to be a small child, running rather erect and too quickly for a child. One of the officers said. Also, the officer exited his vehicle and made an attempt to capture the girl, but there was no one else in the vicinity. He continued to search for her on foot, anticipating that he would find her in the vicinity, either sobbing or afraid. But he came up empty-handed. They reported it, and other departments worked to find the girl as well. They even sent in a K-9 squad and a drone team to search the area. But they were unable to find anything that seemed suspicious. Despite the fact that the dashcam video from the police vehicle did not catch any evidence of the girl fleeing, it was nonetheless chosen to be kept as an investigative encounter. Coming up next, a baby monitor that was installed in the room of a young couple in the United States recorded what seemed to be a ghost.
Weeks ago, what appears to be something
Also, the couple has released a video with a local television station that seems to show what appears to be a ghostly figure moving across the area where their daughter is playing in her crib. Thus, WXYZ Detroit, an ABC local station in Michigan, said that the ghost even left their daughter with bruises when it visited a few weeks ago. The mother, Heather, said that she caught sight of the figure on the screen and immediately hurried to her daughter's room, where she discovered her daughter with scratches on her face that she says were not there when she put the baby to bed. It was then that she remarked, "I freaked out." She continued, "I stopped what I was doing and I ran upstairs and grabbed my daughter." The father, Josh, on the other hand, referred to the vision as chilling and said that he was unable to determine what it might possibly be other than a ghost. He stated, "It was literally a chill down your spine, like that what if factor. Is this what I just saw? I couldn't get an explanation out of it, so it's freaky is what it is." In addition, Heather said that she has encountered peculiar occurrences in her own residence, such as waking up with the sensation that someone was holding her neck. Next up, when Mark Vernon went to Derby Gaol, he was accompanied by Richard Felix, a historian and star of the show Most Haunted. During his visit, the 55-year-old man took a video that seemed to show a ball of light gliding around the room.
Double V's, double V, double V, and it's to stop evil coming in. Right?
Smile, girls, you're on camera with a ghost. It's going past you now.
Hi.
It's just gone right
And
down.
then the other one, notice that
David.
every one of these handprints is a left hand.
Yeah.
It's the sinister hand. Left.
That's it.
It means it.
The postman with the Royal Mail, who has been conducting investigations into the paranormal for 30 years, was totally taken aback by what he saw. In an interview with Derbyshire Live, he said, "I was gobsmacked when I saw the footage, to see it so clearly on there as well. I was very impressed. Dust particles normally fly by. This kept coming around. It seems to go towards me and stay around me." In addition, Richard Felix was astonished by the footage, and he is certain that the form was not the result of dust particles moving about. The following is what he had to say. "My view on all this is, ghosts are nothing but energy. What form they really take, I don't know. They transform themselves." He continued, "It's how much is in your own mind or your own perception. We should change the name of ghost to energy. That is what it is, energy force." For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below which case you find the most terrifying, And don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications.